Hey guys, welcome back to Rebel Media. This is going to be History in 5 minutes. Let's get into it. This is for the people that have maybe heard it on ROGAN and didn't really get it. Like, well, what is that? All right. Well, this video is just going to be a short explanation of what it is. You can take off your tinfoil hat because it's not a conspiracy theory. It's declassified information and it's readily available, and no one talks about it except for Joe Rogan. So shout out to him for making people aware of this. So in 1962, America's in a global power struggle. It's the Cold War, and we're really concerned about Russia being in bed with Cuba, and we really don't like Castro. And Cuba's super close, like 100 miles away from America, from Florida, and they could easily take over control of the Gulf of Mexico. So there's a lot of concerns there, and nobody wants to see, the federal government doesn't want to see a repeat of the War of 1812, where they came and burned down the White House. They have to do something to take out Castro. So they already have an operation in place with the CIA. It's called Operation Mongoose. We're not going to get into it too much, but basically they're doing everything they can to discredit Castro or take him out, from pumping him full of estrogen so he grows breasts and is emotionally erratic and doesn't become a strong male leader. Also makes his hair fall out. They tried exploding seashells. They tried to get one of his lovers to kill him during intimate times. So none of that's working. So the military joint heads of staff, the brass, they all get together and they're like, well, what can we do? And to the military, they just want to go and attack and just blow it up, or just take the guy out. It's the easiest way. But they can't just do that because the American people aren't going to be on board for that. So they all get together and they're like, all right, well, what can we do? We've got that base in Guantanamo. We could have people pretend Cuban GIs go attack and send mortars in there and try to attack the base. Then they're like, well, maybe we could blow up a ship in the bay there. They're like, well, no, that's not personal enough. And they're like, well, what if we do homegrown terror cells and we put them in major cities where we have fake Cuban refugees that will go and shoot and kill American civilians and blow up American civilian areas. They were going to either blow up a commercial liner jet, and they're like, well, we can, have a video of these college students getting onto the plane, and then we'll blow the plane up, but it'll be a drone plane. So they were going to do these false flag attacks. You've heard that term before. But the whole point of Operation Northwoods was to create false flag attacks, from blowing up airplanes to crashing buildings into civilian targets, which sounds pretty spooky and reminds us of some other things, but we're not going to get into that right now. And then they were going to take the footage of these kids that were getting on the plane and say that they were going on vacation to South America, and use the mainstream media. They were going to use the media to tell the people about these kids, to get American sympathy, and so that Americans would be on board for attacking Cuba, and then they could kill Castro. It was all about creating this false narrative. So they brought this idea to JFK, and JFK took one look at it and he was like, you're out of your damn mind. He's like, there's no way. And then he fires this dude, Lyman Lemonster. He's the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the brass from this point, they think JFK's weak. They think he's weak on Cuba. This is before the Bay of Pigs. And this starts a rift in the administration, and everyone's kind of against JFK, but he's like, no way, there's no way I'm going to do this to American citizens and targets. It's completely ridiculous. So thank God for JFK, he was the man. But what I would say, and one of the things that I would take away from this, when you think about it, is that if in 1962, over 50 years ago, they were willing to lie to us, create false flag attacks, to play on our sympathies and create a false narrative to get America into a war, wonder, what would they be doing now in 2022? It's pretty scary to think about, but again, this is not a conspiracy theory. It is declassified. Check it out for yourself. And take it easy, guys. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment, and we'll talk to you next time.